In Oxygen 6, you can display your WordPress posts however you want with no limitations using the post loop builder. Let me just demonstrate how this works. Over here, I have a list of posts on my WordPress site, and I need to display them on my blog page. So to do that, I just need to drop in a post loop builder. So we'll hit the plus icon, search for loop, and we'll pick post loop builder. You can see that it says I need to choose a component from my dropdown to display the posts. That's because any loop element in Oxygen uses a component as the repeated design or template for displaying the items in the loop. This means you can display your items however you want because you build the components in Oxygen using fundamental building blocks, just like everything else. Now, we don't have a component yet, but I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to create one. First, I'm going to use my quick navigator to jump over to my main page here, and there's a section that has some elements I want to use. I think my posts would look great if they were repeated like this. And we can even do the alternating layout as well, so we'll do that while we're at it. I'm going to grab this whole container and copy it using Command or Control-C. Then I'm going to use the quick navigator, and I'm going to hit the plus icon to create a new component. So I'll choose component from the dropdown, and I'll call it post loop item, and we'll save that. Now that that's been created, I can navigate to it here. We'll choose post loop item, and it's completely blank to begin with because we get to build it from scratch, making it exactly how we want it. I'm just going to go ahead and paste in that design from the home page, and we'll get rid of anything we don't need. Specifically, I want this row here. So I'll copy that, delete the whole container with everything in it, and then paste in that row. Note that because this is going to be within a post loop builder, I don't need any of the wrappers around this. All I need to do is wire up my dynamic data now. First, we'll choose one of our blog posts as our preview item just so that we can see how this dynamic data works. And we'll go over to dynamic data on this text element and choose post title. Then here we will choose post excerpt, but we are going to adjust how many characters show. So we'll click the post excerpt details, click advanced, and then limit the characters to 200. Now we need to make sure this button leads to the actual blog post, so we'll do dynamic data for the URL, and then we're looking for permalink, so I'll just search for it, post permalink, and then the image should be the featured image from the blog post. So we'll go to dynamic data for the media field, and we'll choose featured image. That looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and save that. Now we can jump back over to our blog page, and we can get our post loop builder working. We can go over here and we can choose under content, repeated block, we can choose our post loop item. And then our query can also be adjusted, but it's working pretty good out of the box right now. If we wanted to change it, we could use custom, text, or array. I'll use custom here. Edit query, and by default it's showing posts with the post type post, which is exactly what we want, but we can adjust posts per page. We can add conditions. If we click the drop down, we see some of these options like showing only posts with a specific taxonomy, so on and so forth. We can also create a meta query if we want and adjust how the results are ordered. But for now, this query looks pretty good to me, and we can see all of these items here. I do want to adjust the styling a little bit, so we'll jump over to the style tab. We'll go to post, padding, and let's just change our padding to 0 all the way around. Then on list, let's make sure space between is set to something like 8 pixels. Now this looks pretty good and it's highly custom. It fits our website perfectly, but I do want the layout to alternate. I want the image on the left every other post. So we can do that really easily. Let's jump back over to our dashboard, but first let's make sure we've saved that. Now we can go back to our dashboard, and I'm going to go to Oxygen Components, which is where all of our components live, and I'm going to duplicate this post loop item component, go to settings and rename it, and we'll name it post loop item alt. Save that. Now we just need to edit this in Oxygen, and all we're going to do is flip-flop these items. Let's open up our structure panel so we can see what we're doing here, and we're going to drag this one up so that the image is on the left. Now let's save that. And we don't need to leave Oxygen again. We can just hop back over to our blog page now that we've created that. And in our post loop builder, we go to repeated block, advanced, and then under alternates, we can add an item. And we can choose our alt post loop item component. Now we just need to tell it where we want it displayed. For instance, if we pick position 1, it'll be used for the first item. But we want it on the second item, and we want it to repeat. Let's turn that on. And now you can see that our post loop builder is displaying our post loop exactly how we want. using a completely custom layout. I do need to go ahead and adjust some of the spacing really quickly. Let's go over here to list and let's just reduce this to 4 so that it's more equal with the spacing between the image and the details for each post. Using this approach, Oxygen never locks you into pre-made post loop layouts. Instead, we give you the tools to build completely bespoke post layout designs using the post loop builder and the power of Oxygen components.